It's a tough job being a good dad. You've got so much more stuff than I have. Gotta keep up with the changing times.
101 Salvations on your CD-ROM.
See me, I'm trying to pretend I know on my PC where that PC go. But don't strife, life must go on, just in case it's my place to impart. One day some boy's gonna break your heart.
No.
But ooh, ain't no love like from the opposite sex.
I think this is going in the wrong direction. Why are we talking about her dating people now?
We're talking about her growing up.
Well, we're not going to think about that now.
Get out and give me 20. Show them all the push-ups that I've been teaching you at Daddy Daycare.
What have you been doing while I've been gone to work? Have you had fun with Daddy?
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, welcome back to another episode of Baby Steps here on BabyLeague.
This week, I went back to work after being on maternity leave for 12 weeks. I know in some places that is really short. Around the world, a lot of people get a lot longer of maternity leave, but here in the United States, our maternity leave isn't fabulous.
And for dads, I know a lot of dads go back like the week after, 2 weeks after.
Couple days
after. So I'm very fortunate, we're very fortunate to be in the position we are to where Daddy Daycare is in full swing.
Luckily, when I went back to work this week, Cullen is staying home with Gaines, but he is also working from home. So he's having to juggle those things as well.
They eat a lot. These little things eat and sleep and poop a lot. I didn't realize how much she actually ate. It was like every time she's awake, you basically have to feed her. Like she's trying to eat my knuckles right now.
So today I'm gonna tell you some tips that I found helpful when getting ready to go back to work. The first thing is to find a childcare provider that you trust. I guess I trust him. No, he's a great dad. If you don't have that option, finding a family member, finding a daycare, finding a nanny, finding somebody that can help take care of your baby. You wanna make sure you trust that person because it makes going back a lot easier. It was a lot easier for me to go back knowing it was Cullen, he knew the routine, he knew what we were doing. All those types of things.
I think that's another big keyword is routine. Getting into a routine before she went back to work was a major step because it got us all on the same page. She actually, even though we had a routine, still wrote it out for me just in case I happened to forget.
In case you haven't been paying attention for the past 12 weeks when I've been home.
Right, but that routine is huge.
So after we decided Cullen was gonna stay home with her, it was important for me to talk to my boss about my schedule. Luckily, I was able to cut back a little bit on hours so that I can come home a little bit earlier and relieve Cullen of baby duty a little bit earlier in the afternoon if he needs to get some more work done. It's good to talk to your boss about things like if you're gonna need to have earlier start times, earlier end times to your day, later start times, maybe if you need more time to get your baby to daycare, all those different things. Figure out what's gonna work best for you with your schedule, and hopefully you have a job and a boss that will be a little bit flexible with you.
I really don't get much work done when she's awake because I'm either having to entertain or feed. But yeah, as soon as she takes her nap, it's all fingers on the mouse. Let's get to work. And luckily with YouTube, it's real flexible.
It's important to make sure you leave yourself extra time. Maybe practicing the morning routine before you actually go back to work so that you can make sure that you've got it down. Make sure that I would try to leave a few days for a few hours and let Cullen take care of her and make sure he didn't have any questions because things come up when you're by yourself.
The day before, she actually was like, this is all you. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be writing thank you notes and Christmas cards and stuff, but you are gonna be taking care of her.
If you're taking your child to daycare or to a child care provider, maybe you wanna drop them off a couple days early. It was nice to be able to work out with my boss coming back in the middle of the week instead of the beginning of the week. That gives you a shorter week, so you just have a couple days. You go back, it's traumatic and it's stressful.
How was your first? How was your first day?
I cried about the first half of the day. And then I was okay, but then I came home and then it was still a little bit sad. I came home and I was like, I'm not going back ever again. If it is a friend or a relative or a nanny or somebody, maybe they can text you pictures or you can ask them how comfortable they are with you calling and checking in. I know daycares a lot of times are really flexible about that too, and they say call as many times as you want. I know the first few days are hard. Another major thing to prepare for when I went back was that I was still breastfeeding Gaines, and so I had to plan to pump at work and plan to leave bottles.
It's like taking over, it's like taking over our freezer in there. I was like, what are we doing? It's like popsicles.
Oh my God. So you need to make sure you leave yourself extra time to take the pump. Luckily, I have a door on my office that closes, so I can do that. Our administrative assistant made me a nice little do not disturb sign to put on my door, which just makes me feel better that somebody's not gonna come busting in my door while I'm sitting there. Think about where you're gonna store the milk after you pump it. If you need to take like an insulated cooler or ice packs, or if you have a refrigerator at your office you can use.
She called me on the way home the first day and was like, oh, I forgot my milk.
I left it all in the fridge. It's really helpful to set an alarm on your phone so that you remember to do it. Not only do you remember, but if somebody's in the room with you, you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I've gotta go. You know?
Somebody's calling and it's my boobies.
So I survived the first few days back at work. Luckily, it worked out, so I've got a couple days off for Christmas this coming week, but I know that's not possible for everybody. But I would recommend at least trying to minimize your commitments the first week that you're back.
And dads, be real supportive of the working mom if she is going back to work. I know she came back the first day and she was like, she's not smiling at me. She doesn't remember me. So moms out there, leave a comment below and let us know how much maternity leave do you get off? Dads, are you stay-at-home dads? Are there any stay-at-home dads out there? I want to know. Hit me up. Follow me on Twitter. let's talk. I don't know.
Let us know what tips were helpful for you when you went back to work, or if you decided to stay at home with your baby. Sometimes that's the best decision for your family, and you just have to decide that as well.
So that does it for this episode of Baby Steps. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it. Can't wait to see what your comments are below. Subscribe to Baby League. We put out videos every single Wednesday. Thanks for watching, y'all. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
So pretty.